Hello, everybody, and welcome to the LFC Transfer Room YouTube page. My name is Stephen, and today we're going to be discussing the predicted 11 for our Europa League clash with LASK on Thursday evening, following our 1-1 draw against Man City at the weekend. But before we get into that, I just want to say, please do like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you have done that, thank you very much. And make sure that you have your notifications on for all of our future streams and videos so that you don't miss out on anything. We're live every day from 7:30 p.m. UK time, and we will have post-game streams after our game against LASK, which will be the only stream that night. And we will also have a post-game stream on Sunday following the game of Fulham. So without further ado, let's get into the starting 11 that we would predict. So, unfortunately, following the game on Saturday, we know that Alisson had a bit of a tweak in his right leg, which would be his dominant leg, and we believe that it's a hamstring injury, which could see him sidelined until at least the Man United game. There's no confirmed reports on that yet, but hamstring injuries, especially for keepers, would probably keep them out for a couple of weeks. With that being said, I can see the likes of Queevy and Kelleher starting in this game. Alisson, there's no need for him to start anyway, so it will be Queevy and Kelleher starting with Adrian possibly on the bench. I don't want to see Adrian anywhere near that starting 11. I'd much rather see Queevy and Kelleher in there, get him some game time, and if he is going to be in there for a prolonged period, hopefully we can see a return to form similarly to how we've seen with Kostas Tsimikas and how he has returned to form very recently following prolonged game time. Then at left back, I'm going to bring in one of the youth guys. We're going to bring in Luke Chambers. So hopefully with the likes of Kostas Tsimikas and obviously with Andy Robertson being out, Kostas has played a good few games over the past while. It'd be nice to just get him a midweek break. He's pumped in a lot of good minutes, especially the game against Man City. He was absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't fault him at all in that game. So I'd like to see Chambers starting as our left back. He is a great young player. And I can definitely see it's about time that we start bringing in some of our younger guys for this kind of a game. Then we get to our two centre-backs, and on the left-hand side of our two centre-backs, I'd like Jarell Kwanzaa. He's been out of the fray for a little while. He hasn't really started any games since prior to the international break. I think it's a great time to get him back into it, especially with the run of games that we have coming up that some would consider an easier run of games before the United and Arsenal game. So to get him some extra minutes, to get him back in form again would be absolutely phenomenal. Maybe even play him against the likes of Sheffield or even Fulham or even Crystal Palace. It'd be good to get him some Premier League game time again. Give the likes of Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip some rest so that we prevent any injuries further down the line. On the right-hand side then of our centre-back positions, I'd want to see Ibrahima Konate. He's just coming back from an injury. He's had a niggling muscle injury that sort of kept him out. He was on the bench against Man City. It didn't see anything from him, so I think before rushing him back into a Premier League game, I think this would be the perfect game. Give him maybe 60 minutes starting this game, and then move him into a starting role. Then back into it then in the Premier League games going forward. But as it stands on this, I can really only see him playing maybe 60 minutes just to get his legs back under him, following the injury, and just get him feeling comfortable on the ball again. And I don't see any issues with that whatsoever. Then it comes to our other fullback, the right back, and we haven't seen him in a while, but I think Joe Gomez would be a fantastic option to come in here. I know he was out for a little while with a little muscle thing as well, so it'd be a good idea to get him back in and what will be considered an easier side that we'll be facing in LASK, especially in the Europa League. We're winding down the last two league games now. We've this one and then we've USG coming up as well, so hopefully that this will be a perfect time to get Joe Gomez some minutes there as well, and even over the next couple of Premier League fixtures as well, but this is where we should start it. As our CDM, I would have Endo. I think Endo needs to come back in and play these games to allow the likes of Alexis McAllister, who's just come back from playing 2 international games over in South America and then playing nearly 81 minutes for Liverpool against Man City, or if it wasn't 81 minutes, it was nearly all of the game. He played a phenomenal game, probably an unsung hero in that game in many people's eyes, but I think he needs a rest, and maybe even don't even start him against Fulham at the weekend. I think for any of the South American guys, I think that should be the case, considering they came on and played probably one of the biggest games of the year within 60 hours of having finished their second international in the space of 3 days. So definitely will be worth seeing Endo as their CDM. I don't want to see McAllister in this game whatsoever. Then we get to our two midfielders, and on the left, I would like to see Ryan Gravenberch following. I wasn't very impressed with Curtis Jones against Man City. I'd like to see Ryan Gravenberch getting way more game time than Curtis Jones. In my own opinion, I think he'd be perfectly suited for this game. Get him back into the swing of things again, following an international break and a limited appearance at Man City. Even though while he was a limited appearance at Man City, he was the cause of our equalising goal that got to Trent with his driving past Rodri in the midfield. So definitely something that we need to get him in more minutes. Then on the right hand side, I'd like to see Harvey Elliott. Again, somebody that hasn't played since prior to the international break, didn't play any, has just sort of possibly just needed more minutes to hit form, and I think this is another perfect opportunity for him to come in rather than coming off the bench, making an impact, making a statement and putting his foot in for more minutes in the starting team, hopefully going forward. Then with our front three, on a left wing, I have Luis Diaz, but I'd only like to see him play maybe a half, whether it be the first or second. I'd like to see him come on, start, play a half, and then come off. He did only have a short appearance in the Man City game at the weekend, but again, one of the South American players that has played multiple games overseas and then flown home, and within the 60 hours of flying from the other side of the planet, played nearly a full Premier League, not a full Premier League game, but played big minutes in a Premier League game. Also, it doesn't necessarily help that Diogo Jota is also a little bit injured. He picked up a muscle injury as well. Klopp mentioned that it was both him and Alisson that picked up a little bit of a muscle injury, so it'd be nice to get Luis Diaz in there. Maybe we can bring on something else or shift the formation around when we need to bring Luis Diaz off, and probably we'll end up starting him at the weekend against Fulham. But for this game, I definitely need to see him at least play a half just to get his legs under him, and then move into a starting position at the weekend. Just give him maybe 30-40 minutes. That's all that he'd really need in the game. Take him off at halftime and he'd be fine. In the centre then, with the striker role, I'd have Cody Gakpo, somebody that's fallen a little bit out of favour, maybe not so much with fans or Klopp, but more so in form. Obviously his injury didn't help, and Darwin Núñez emerging obviously hasn't helped his minutes tally either, but this game is perfect for him to sort of get his confidence back. He could bag a goal or two in this game very, very easily. So it's definitely worth a shot putting him in there. And even if he doesn't start at the weekend, he can come on and play left wing in replace of Diaz to allow him some rest as well. And when we keep Darwin Núñez up front for that too. So there's plenty of options for Cody Gakpo to move back into the squad again. And then finally on the right, just to give Salah some rest, definitely just need to bring in Ben Doak. Just have Ben Doak come in there, run at the defense for a good 70 minutes, and then pull him out and insert somebody else, or even play the formation a little bit differently. Move Darwin out to the right maybe, or bring him in as a right winger, and then that would probably be the best option in my own opinion, just especially with all these South American guys only coming back from a massive international break and then playing a big game against Man City. Their rest is paramount in this situation. So that is the predicted 11 in goal. We have Kelleher as our left back, left centre back, right centre back, and right back. We have Chambers, Kwanzaa, Konate, and Gomez in that order. Then for our midfield, in our sixth position, we have Endo, and then the left-sided midfielder is going to be Gravenberch. The right-sided midfielder is going to be Elliott. And then our front line from left to right is going to be Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, and Ben Doak. So I do picture this game needing somewhat of maybe 80% strength of a squad, just purely to push us through and get us fully qualified for the round, past the round of 32 and into the round of 16 of the Europa League, giving us an extra 2 weeks rest, or even 2 games rest rather, compared to finishing in second. As well, if we finish this game and we win this game, we're automatically through, meaning that the game against USG in a couple of weeks' time is a bit of a rubber match, and we could see everybody being rested for that, and a lot of youth players coming through and maybe playing that game, which I'd very much enjoy seeing. So today, the game on Thursday is the time to finish the business, and it's time to get us into the last round of 16. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe. And if you've done that already, make sure your notification bell is on for all future videos and streams so that you don't miss out on anything. We are live every day from 7:30 UK time, and we will have a post-match stream on Thursday evening following the game, because the game goes on at the same time as what the stream would normally do. And we also then have our post-match stream following our game against Fulham at about 4 o'clock on Sunday. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope everybody has a lovely day.